Yeah, in the current vicinity of the software world, we hear a lot of things, right? So what is that? Every time we hear like software. We are going to hear a lot of terms called applications, websites, smartphones, devices. And what else we hear as part of in the real time world, we hear a lot of things, right? So to all function this, what do we exactly need? So what is the need of using this software, applications or websites, smartphone devices, hardware, internet connections, internet, Wi-Fi, on all these things. Okay, what exactly we need for this? So why do we need this, and what is the use of this things as part of your daily life? So from the day beginning to the end of your day, so everywhere you're going to see that there is a word called software or something that media is projecting something it plays an important role in our life. Okay, so it's kind of like a vital part, and we see that a lot of information or a lot of things that we are learning as part of it. But what makes you to go through this? Okay, so why can't we live like man, those those we use those days like we used to use as caveman or countryside that we used to do. Yeah, so do you have any idea about like what exactly this word says and what are the different aspects of aspects? Otherwise we can say that what are the things that is managing your world. Yeah, to give a quick start, guys. So this is our daily life that we are going to live with it, and for this is kind of like bread and butter for us. So generally, what we do is like we are going to work for certain software companies, and then we are going to provide some services to them, and they are going to that. From that, we are going to render our salaries, and so that is how it works actually. But where did you think like what exactly this things would be playing vital role in our life, and why do we need to learn this, and what is the essence of learning it? Okay, so this is kind of a it can be a statement, it can be a question for you guys. The thing is like what do you understand with software testing? So why did you choose any other field apart from the software testing? Can someone give your thoughts, or otherwise you can share your thoughts with me? Do you understand my question, guys? So why do we need software testing? What is software testing? On top of it, I have another question called what is testing? So this is kind of like a generic question that we have. Okay, so these are the things when we testing is considered as part of global entity. So we can say that anything should be, if we are using something, that we have to test it. Okay, so if once it is tested, then we can easily accept it. Otherwise, what we do? So we say that it's not reliable. Reliable in the sense if you are not relying on that. Okay, so you're not believing in that. If somebody says that it is tested and it is working fine, then you say that yes, this I can go ahead and use it. But in terms of software, if you are using something, so what is software? And this kind of few statements are questions, right? It's not like I'm just scrutinizing you guys, like I'm not drilling you. But the thing is like I just understand like why do you choose this software, and basically software testing, and what are the things that you understand out of it? So just a few, I mean like few, I just want to hear few comments from you.
Software testing is giving the quality assurance for the application.
So what are the terms that we are hearing now? Are you guys able to hear me properly?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's consider the things like what is the first thing that you understand from the software testing is like quality.
Yeah.
Okay. So any other thoughts?
And the features are meeting the expectations of the customer, whether the quality are meeting the expectations of the customer.
Business requirements. Okay. Any
Yeah.
other term? Quality is one matters. Business requirements is like another. Any other things?
Process or a task that we perform on the software to check whether the software is meeting the criteria or meeting all the expectations for that for which that was designed.
Okay. Process of verifying the requirements. Yes. Any other thoughts? Come on.
Whether the application is user acceptable or not.
Okay. Usability.
And compatibility.
Okay. Any other thoughts, guys?
Bug-free software.
Sorry.
Bug-free, no any defect is present in that software.
Yeah. We have written this. The process of identifying the defects. Okay. So we can say that bug free. Okay. So defects free. Defects free. Application or interface is what we can say. Interfaces. So generally the thing is like when you go to a particular showroom, let us take like you are going to buy a bike. Okay. So bike that you want to buy. So what do you look at this? For example, if you want to buy a two-wheeler, you went to a showroom and you choose a particular brand and you choose a particular model, and you have like, what are the considerations when you go to a particular showroom, and what do you get from them?
Whether the features are working out properly or not, whatever the features are they are providing.
Yeah, specifications.
And the functionalities are working or not properly. First we check this.
You can say quotations, specifications, quotations, functionalities. Any other thing? Yeah. So guys, the thing is like the software is like you can't see, like, the code will not be code. It's kind of like it's not visible to everyone. So it's kind of like a virtual thing which is existed somewhere, and it's going to help us in achieving our goals. For example, if you can, when you consider this banking system, so way back in 80s or 70s, probably 90s, when first the internet was introduced. So what we used to do is like, we used to like, first internet was introduced, but still we don't have any kind of a software that were designed to handle the banking systems. So what was the typical functionality of the bank? So the person, if he has to get the amount, like he has to credit, like, he has to do some deposits. Let us take like he's doing deposits and he's going to withdraw the amount. He's going to check for the balances.
Statements.
Yeah, statements. Get the statements. And we have called some passbooks generally. Okay, still passbooks are existing in the banks. But do you see that the person is going to a bank and doing all these things nowadays?
No.
Like we can say that, okay, still they are doing that. Few old school guys, they are going to do, but now as part of your fast life, and it's like, this is like sweet based life. So wherein everybody is like relying on the Relying on
application
automated
software.
alarmation. These are like, yes, applications. And what are the other things that we have?
Deposit machines.
Banking apps, yeah. We have a deposit ATM is like automated teller machine, so which has like deposit withdrawals and everything. We have two modes of things which are like, helping us to achieve our goals. Like if you want money in the midnight of 1 o'clock, so bank will not be open, right? So what do? You go to an automated teller machine and then you are going to just get that money. But as part of this, we can see a lot of things which have come like UPIs, and there are like banking applications. These applications are generally like for every bank they have a different applications, and you can see that there are applications like PhonePay, GPay. So this is like what we used to do earlier. So we are doing it in a smart way, okay, and easiest way. So one click, it's like one click away. Everything will be working. Okay, so everything will be working like whatever you want to achieve, that will be achieved in one click. Okay. So this is how the fast-paced life has moved, and everybody is achieving their goals with help of this business requirement specification side of thing. Who is going to rely, like who is going to rely on these applications and how they are going to rely on these applications? The user will be relying on these applications and based on the testing. Okay, so if tester certifies it, like this application is working and it does not have any defects. Okay, so testers are going to certify the working model of the application. So these all things will be done with the help of software testing. Okay, certify the working model of application. So all these things can be achieved with the help of software testing. Okay, so yes, we got the business requirements from the business, and we have implemented those requirements, and we have developed the application, and then we started using the applications. So without testing, is it possible to use any of the applications? So we see that a lot of certifications that are lurking around this world. So we have like ISO certifications, we have different set of like IEEE standard certifications, and we have these many certifications that we have just to provide the quality, and we say that this application is working or this certain product is working and it is quality check, then only we rely on that and we are going to use it. Okay, so these all things can be done with the help of testing. Okay, so just give let's go back and roll back few things, and I just want to give my introduction. I am Srikanth Incholi. I have 10+ years of experience in software testing. I worked for multinational companies like Polaris, Cigniti, Cofax, Prokarma, and currently I'm working for Deloitte. So I hold vast experience in software testing as part of manual testing, automation testing, and I work for performance testing and API testing, security testing, usability testing. So a lot of non-functional testing is also I did. Coming to my current, like I'm working for business BFSI domain, and I have like logistics, and I have experience in Medicare also. So I've seen a lot of things which were evolving as part of like in 10+ years of experience. I see a lot of changes in software testing, and now it is like now it's not kind of like a job wherein we consider testing is like a part of it's a daily activities, but it's kind of, it has evolved in such a way that testers are most reliable persons, and they are like get to go persons, and way that if they say yes, they are going to the users, they are going to rely on us and they will use that applications. Okay, it's kind of like user. If I'm talking about user, it can be a customer, it can be a normal user, because you can say that as part of software, we are also a kind of a users. Okay, so if you go and if you want to buy something, what we do is like we are going to go and identify whether it is like go and check for that, whether that application is quality checked or not. Okay, so as to give the introduction about the software is like a piece of a code, or it's like kind of interface, or we can see that in a group of programs that are written to achieve a certain object. Okay, object in the sense certain scope or scope of the object or goal. Okay, so we can see that what are the things that we can achieve with the help of a software. We have a certain requirements. Okay, so every requirements differ from application to application. Okay, so if you are going to go for the hotels, you see that these requirements are different from the hospitals. Okay, and these requirements are different from banking. Okay, then these requirements are different from travel agencies. So likewise, every certain domain will have a certain requirements, and they have different sets of specifications with them. So to achieve this specifications, to design this application, and they have to hire some person, or they have to contact some person, or they should have some certain skills to design this application according to the business requirements. Okay. So software, what is software? Software is a piece of a code, or you can say that's a group of programs. Okay. That is written to achieve certain goals. Okay. So what are those goals, requirements, specifications are? To run the business models. Okay. So to run the business models, we are going to design the software. Now, when we come back again and see that what is software testing? In short term, we can say that software testing is a process. Okay. Process of identifying defects, verifying business requirements, and assessing quality of the software. Okay. So what are the different verticals that we are going to do? Okay. So now the thing is like the basic things of basic thing that we have to concentrate is like we need to identify the defects. Okay. So this is what our motto. And the second thing is like we need to assess the quality. Assess quality of the application. So what is the quality? How do we define the quality? And then we are going to verify the requirements, business requirements. Okay. So let's call it as like a business requirements. Okay. There are a lot of things, other things that we are going to consider as part of software testing. The first motto of these are the mottos, like you can say that these are the goals of the software testers. Okay. So what we have to do is like we need to identify the defects, and we have to certify this application is defect free. But can we achieve the 100% defect free application? We say no. Okay. So that every application will have defects. And the other thing is like if we say that 100% defect free, then we are landing we are landing ourselves in troubles. Okay. So we'll talk about like more about like how do we say that this application is defect free, or what are the considerations and during giving certifications to the customer or users. Okay. So how do we assess the quality? Quality can be assessed with the help of like a coverages. Okay. So how do we achieve this coverages? This coverages can be achieved with the execution of the test cases. Okay. So execution of test cases. So I'll simply write TCS. Okay. So next, this is like assessing quality. Okay. So whenever we see that if any application which is working as expected, and it is like reliable, and it's like fast enough to achieve the goals. For example, if you open a Google search, okay, so it's a search engine. Just you go type something like test and click on enter. It takes within fraction of seconds you'll get the information about it. Okay. So about the test, about like content that we have just searching for. So we get the information about it. So now we can see that when you talk about the quality, it is faster, reliable, and it is like usable. Okay. So, and it is like it is covering this particular scenario. That's nothing but we are testing it. So everybody, when we start using some application, what we do is like we are going to test from our end. Okay, we want to check it. Okay, whether it is working properly or not. So that is called, when we go for something, we have a test drive, right? If you want to buy a bike or a car or any other vehicle, that what we do is like we are going to do the test drive. Okay, to understand it, to measure the quality, to identify the specifications, whatever we have. So we are going to conduct the testing on it before we are going to use it. Okay, so likewise, to assess the quality, we are going to have few set of metrics that we are going to consider for measuring the quality. Okay, so this is the second thing. And third thing is like business requirements. If we are trying to test something, we should have a base requirements. That is nothing but we are going to call it as like test basis. Okay, so test basis is nothing but we call them as like BRS, business requirement specification, software requirement specifications, and we are going to call it as like FRS. So functional requirement specifications. Okay. So this we call it as like, test basis. And based on this, we are going to derive the test cases and we are going to assess the quality. We are going to identify the defects and then we are going to measure the requirements, or we can say that, covering the requirement. Coverage is also done based on the business requirements. Like we want to see that all the requirements are covered as part of the application or not. Okay. So yeah, so down the line we'll be discussing a lot of things about what is software testing and what are the different strategies, what are types of testing, what are the different techniques that we are going to use, what are the principles of software testing, what is software development life cycle. So sorry guys, I'm just getting some charts. Okay, sorry guys. So what is that question? Coverages meaning in software testing. Yeah. So coverages is like we have certain formulas that we are going to use, and it could be like, sometimes knowingly and unknowingly people will be using it. Okay, number of test cases that we have and number of test cases that have been executed. Okay, so we'll discuss about what are the coverages, how do we measure the coverage of particular application. Okay, so based on the test cases that we have. So yes. So we'll discuss in detail about it. And yeah. So far, do you have any questions for me, guys? So one is like I got question from the coverage.
No.
Okay. So let's get into the syllabus that we are going to discuss as part of our software testing. Okay, so we have like two parts of it. One is manual testing, another one is like automation testing. Manual testing, you are going to cover like what is software testing, what are the SDLCs, like software development life cycles, and within that we'll discuss few things which are like traditional approaches as well like modern approaches that we have, and then we are going to discuss about like how do we what are the different types of software testings and what are the different types of software testing techniques. And then we are going to discuss about like, agile methodologies. And before that, we are going to discuss about like, how do we write the test cases, and I'll use sample template and I'm going to take one application, and based on that application, we are going to write the test cases on it. Okay. So, and what is the different types of testing in that we have different set of things like, component testing, integration testing, system integration testing. Then we have like user acceptance testing. And then we are going to discuss about what is static testing and what is dynamic testing, and what are the different testing techniques that we are going to use for designing the test cases. And we'll talk about like what are the different types of testing that we consider when we want to go with the releases. Okay, so what is build, what is release? I'll discuss everything about it. And then finally, we are going to discuss about like defect tracking. And how do we, what is the defect life cycle, and how do we track the defects, and what is defect triage meetings and all. Then we'll go ahead with the Java. So Java and Selenium. So with the help of like, yeah, here you can see that we have a lot of languages that we can automate the application with the help of Selenium tools. But the thing is like we have chosen Java because Java is like openly available and it is like easy to use. And it is like evolving very fastly, and it's one of the top 5 programs, programming languages wherein everybody is using in this world. And the Selenium is like open source tool. So because of that reason, we have chosen Selenium. And Selenium is like evolving very fastly in the market, and it has grabbed a very good share in the market. And here in Java, we are going to discuss about core Java. So we are going to discuss about what is Java programming and we discuss about what are the basics of Java and how do we install it and what is the ID that we are going to use. And here I'm going to use Eclipse, and we see that how do we create the project in the Eclipse, and we are going to start writing the Java programs. And after that, we see that what are the different concepts that we have in the Java. So we are going to discuss about OOPS concepts and what is data types. Beforehand that we are going to discuss about variables, data types, And then we have control statements, conditional statements, then arrays. Then after we discuss about like groups concepts. Then after we are going to discuss about the what is constructor, access modifiers, interfaces. And then we discuss about like exception handling, file handling, and yeah. So then we are going to discuss about the different collections. So collection framework is not written here. So we are going to discuss about the collection framework and what are the different interfaces, classes, implementation class of collections frameworks that we are going to discuss. And on top of it, we are going to discuss about the interview programs that generally they are going to ask in interviews. And then we will be starting with the Selenium. And Selenium, we'll be discussing about what is architecture of Selenium and what are the different components of Selenium. And so with that, we'll see that few things in the Selenium ID, so which is still used by most of the people. But the thing is, like, we have got a lot of other tools which are helping to identify the objects and the applications. So next we are going to discuss about, like, there's another component, what we say is like WebDriver. So we'll be discussing about WebDriver, how do we install the WebDriver, and what is the architecture of the Selenium WebDriver, and what are the applications that we are going to test, and how do we implement this WebDriver with the help of classes that we have. Like, we'll be using Firefox, Edge, and Chrome. So basically, Chrome is like dominating most of the time. So we'll be testing our application on Chrome. So as well as like I'll be showing the execution of that particular application in Edge as well as like Firefox. Okay, so then we are going to discuss about how do we identify the objects. So there is a like object identification mechanism. So with that, we will be identifying the object and we are going to perform the operations on that particular application with the help of object identification. So next we are going to discuss about what are the different components which are available as part of the application. It can be a text box, list box, links, checkboxes, radio buttons, HTML tables, and calendars. Okay, so nowadays it has become very easy to automate these calendars and tables. Earlier we used to have a lot of things as a challenge that we have to identify objects in a different way and integrate them and get the objects from the application. Okay, but now it is like very handy. We are using some functions with the help of that functions, and we are able to achieve that. And then we have like actions classes. These actions classes are like kind of interactions that we make with the application with the help of keyboard or events. Okay, so triggers, what we say. Okay, so keystrokes and triggers. We have other things like we'll be discussing about like how do we switch between the windows, switching between the frames, and how do we handle the alerts. So these all things will be discussed as part of Selenium. So we have Ajax calls. Ajax calls I'm going to discuss, and we have JavaScript executors. So this is kind of an interface we are going to use to achieve our goals. For example, if you want to navigate to a particular element, or if you want to switch to that element, or if you want to identify that element. So these all things can be achieved with the help of JavaScript executor. So we'll talk about like what is DOM, what is JavaScript executor, and how do we handle these elements with the help of JavaScript executor if Selenium is not supporting in certain cases. Okay, so then we'll talk about like exceptions in Selenium. So these are all based on the interviews, guys, and the real-time examples that I'm going to show you on how do you face this as part of your real time. Okay, so the challenges, all this will be covered. And then we are going to talk about like synchronizations. So synchronization is a kind of a thing wherein we have to match between, like, that there should not be any gaps in between the application and say like the tool that we are using to automate the application. It's kind of like they both should be in sync. Okay, to achieve that, we are going to use the synchronizations. Okay, so we have a framework. Testing is a framework that we are going to use for execution of our scripts, and it can be part of like, how do we organize our tests, and how do we achieve the parallel execution, and how do we just capture the screenshot, how do we ensure that particular test is failing or passing. Okay, so all these things can be done with the help of like a test engine framework. So this framework is very important, and this will be helpful for us to achieve our parallel testing. Okay, then we have a data driven. So with the help of this approach, we'll be getting the data from the different sources. That is nothing but third party. So you can say Excel or JSON. So we'll be using Excel for reading the data, and we are going to drive the show with the help of different jar files that we have to read, that will be used to read the Excel file, data from the Excel files. Okay, so data driven framework, and then we are going to discuss about like hybrid framework. So I have already designed the framework, so I'll be helping you to understand how this framework will be designed and what are the components that we use as part of framework. So here I use like page object model pattern. Okay, so that's the pattern that I'm using. So under this, we have a lot of things we'll be discussing about this. How do we manage to have these objects created in a particular page, and how do we interact with the application with the help of those objects? And we'll be talking about like connections with the databases. How do we connect with the database, and how do we get the data from the database, and how do we achieve, or we should have some set of knowledge on SQL. So I appreciate you guys to have some basic knowledge of SQL queries. So I'll be explaining few SQL queries. How do we write SQL queries, and how do we extract the data? How do we retrieve the data from the databases? So these are like Auto IT. This is third-party tool wherein we are not going to use this Auto IT. So now we have the different ways of achieving the uploading the file. But I'll show you like how do we install this Auto IT, and how do we write the scripts on this Auto IT, and how do we upload the file that we are going to see as part of Auto IT. But in general, in real-time scenarios, you see that Auto IT will not be used because our execution will be done virtual machines. So wherein this Auto IT should be installed in that machines. So most of the times we see all the approaches. How do we upload a file? But the thing is like in real time, we don't use it. But here we are, as part of our syllabus, we are going to discuss. So extend reports is kind of like a third-party tool that will be used to generate the reports. So sorry guys, sorry for that. And here we can use this report because Selenium does not support the reporting. Okay, so Selenium does not have this reporting structure to project this report after the execution is done. So that is the reason why we are going to go with the extend reports. Okay, then we have a Selenium grid. So we'll see that how do we configure hubs and nodes to execute our program in different nodes. Okay, so if, for example, if you are using multiple machines and if you want to execute them on different browsers, so all these things can be configured as part of Selenium grid. So Maven is like dependency. We have the dependencies for automating our applications, so that those dependency management can be done with the help of Maven. So we call it as like a configuration tool, build configuration tool. So we have Jenkins. This is CI/CD pipelines, continuous integrations, and continuous deployment. So this can be achieved with the help of Jenkins. So we are going to see how do we integrate our code or execute our code with the help of Jenkins. So then we have like Git. So this is version controlling tool. So when we are going to manage our code and we are going to have different versions of it, and we'll see a lot of commands which are there in the Git. So this can, how do we use those Git commands to organize our code or else to maintain the versions of the code. So that can be achieved with the help of Git. And we have Log4j. Log4j will help you to record all your logs in console as well as like file. Yeah. So this is the content, guys. So that we are going to discuss as part of manual and automation testing. So manual, first we'll start with the manual, and we understand what is testing and how do we achieve the testing, and what are different types of testing as part of our course. Do you have any questions for me, guys?
Sir, how much duration will it take to complete this course?
Yeah, duration would take like 2 months of time because we have a lot of things to cover, and I see that if you can, yeah, so it could be like 2 months of time for us.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So may I know the duration of the class?
Yeah, it's 1 hour. So from 8:30 to 9:30, and sometimes it would extend for 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, sir. Actually, I have question. I'm totally from a non-IT background and I'm not aware about any of the language. So it will be feasible for me to learn this testing part, manual and automation both.
Yes, yes, it is feasible because we are going to cover from the scratch, right? And the one good thing is like you're from non-IT background, so you could get a lot of insight in it. And I'm like, I'm in my team actually. The guy is from mechanical engineering, and he has 8 years, like 8 years of experience, and now he's like pro in the automation. So need not to worry about it. It's not any constraint for you guys. Just you have to believe in yourself and you start working on it. Okay, so nothing. It's like everybody starts from ABC, right? So don't worry about it. Just focus more on it and try to do a lot of hard work so that you can achieve your goal easily. Okay, no
Okay.
worries at all. Don't need to worry anything. So because I'm starting from the scratch and you could get the insight of testing, what is testing and what are the tools that we are using. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions, guys?
Any real-time project, sir? You're explaining.
Yeah, so we have one HRM application. So I would say that yeah, everybody says asking about like real-time projects. So yeah, so we are going to see Amazon and we are going to see a few other applications like Orange HRM. So these are like technologies we need to consider ourselves when we are testing something. Is like, you know, we need to understand the technology as well as the requirements. So that will definitely call it. We can call it as like a real time. Okay. So hosting anything on the server is like real time. Okay. Don't worry about like if somebody asks you like what is real time and all. So real time applications would be like hosted on the internet. And if you are using it, that is called a real time application. Okay. Yeah. So definitely we are going to see about the applications which are available for us as like open source. And if we consider that there are two things, what we say is like internet based and intranet based. Okay. So one is HTTP and HTTPS. HTTP is like, you know, secured and it will not be allowed to access from anywhere apart from the VPNs, but HTTPS is kind of like which we can host directly. So for example, I'm going to take this application. I'll show you the application that I'm going to use. Okay. Okay, Orange HRM and the other application would be like, we'll see a lot of components that we can cover as part of automation. Yeah, for your answer, to answer you, yes, we'll be using the real-time applications. And I'll try to show my applications also, so which I'm currently working on, but we have some constraint on it. So directly I cannot expose it, but I'll try to show you some screenshot of it. How do we exactly use this application? Like on the VPN. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys?
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, sir, I need to ask, Miss, I have 3+ year of experience in actually development, but I'm not interested in a development part, so that's why I'm trying to move in a testing thing. So is it working?
Yeah. It is up to you. Absolutely, you can switch on to this.
Is it possible to change a department or
Yes. It's no way constraint like in software. That's a good thing that we have. It's like it's all up to us, like from where you want to switch to. Like the switching is all about our choice. Okay, so you can switch from dev to testing, testing to dev. I saw a lot of people, they are jumping from dev to test and testing to dev. So to take an example, so my friend is like currently working as a developer who started his career as like a testing. So he moved from SDET to developer. So yes, I mean like now this barrier has like moved away from the companies. They are asking you like whether you are liking development or testing. That is all up to us. Yeah, you can definitely switch your career.
Okay.
Yeah, same situation, sir. Mine also. So that's the reason I'm asking any real-time real-time project is there.
Yeah, definitely. We are going to see all these things because see, other thing, Mujib, the thing when we ask in interviews, like we don't concentrate on like what application that you are using. Yes, we are no way.
But we need to explain, right, sir? Because
Yes.
I will ask you, right, application, which application you are, how you tested.
Yes, you can call it as like if you have some experience in e-commerce applications and in BFSI. So sometimes we see that in BFSI. So domain is important for us, but the thing is like application. What application you are using? Nobody asks you. Okay. So because
Yes.
if they ask you, like you start explaining about it and you have 45 minutes of interview time, and if you take 15 minutes of time to explain your project, then they are losing their time. Okay, nobody appreciates it, but the thing is like if you have some knowledge on the domains, that would be definitely appreciated. But as part of the applications, they don't ask you like what application, I mean like what is that application that you are testing, and I mean to say that what are the insights of that applications. Okay, how does it exactly function and all.
Yes, yes.
Okay, but
No one.
definitely domain, domain, you should have knowledge on the domain. And that domain you can get it, like we have a lot of sources on the internet also. I'll give some like links wherein you can learn the domains.
Okay. And another one thing, sir. Nowadays, someone is telling like testing is no growth is there, like here somewhere.
Yes.
No, it's not kind of thing. Actually, I don't believe in this because I'm working for Deloitte and I have got a smart salary. I'm drawing smart salary, but how is it possible? So it's through testing, right? So I started my career with manual testing, and I'm in such a certain stage that I can, like I'm fetching good smart salary. But it's like it's a trash. It's don't believe in all these things because uh, they have a lot of. See, the thing is like everybody has got free speeches that they can deliver the free speeches, but what does the experience guy talks about? It's like very different. So you can like it's not only platform that you see that it is ditching down, but a lot of things in development also. I see a lot of UIs are moving away, but it's not like it's going away. But the thing is like it is evolving. It is like changing its phase. So I started with manual testing. Now I'm into automation. I do a lot of performance testing, API testing. Then I do DevOps also, integrating code with the different tools. So this is what it is evolving. So, but the thing is like it will never go away, but it will change its shape. That is the thing.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Yeah.
Okay, and
So
sir, one more question is like means we are changing our stream like a development to as a he said ki somebody means we heard that ki which is not secure to move from a development to testing, but if we are moving in a testing and we are prefer manual testing, so in manual testing only is it the growth because due to the coding and that things we are moving to the testing is the part, so automation is again the that kind of thing, so only for manual testing is it scope or
no, I mean Shweta, don't. I'm like this is the first impression that we start with, right? So the thing is like don't
yes.
believe in like manual testing or automation testing. It's you consider it as like a component, a complete component as like testing. And I see
Okay.
that manual testing you don't get much things to like there are certain things I can pull out from my experience. People those who have a good knowledge in manual testing and they have a good knowledge in business, understanding the business and talking to the customer, they moved from manual testing to the business analyst. Okay, and they started their career as like business analyst, and they settled down as like technical writers and business. They moved to the business customers also. And when we consider this manual testing alone, it will not help you to grow in terms of like testing. Okay, so when you consider it as like only manual testing, so you have
Okay.
to step up, and then you have to move forward with manual testing, learning manual testing, then go with the automation, then go with the performances. There's a lot of things that you'll get as part of the opportunity. Okay, so when you don't find good opportunity, you need to switch your company, sir. You have to learn it. Okay, so learning is like continuous task that you have to do. And don't believe in only one testing. This would definitely land in a good job, and you can sustain in this. So that is nowhere in this software industry. It's not only in testing, it's even in development also. If you
Yes.
only learn one language and say that I can only work on this technology, they never appreciate you to do it. Okay, because there are a lot of things and a lot of requirements that we are getting from the customers, and they have a lot of expectations from the development team and whole team. I mean to say that not development team, that whole team. Okay, so if I talk about like testing, the customer would ask me to integrate these things with the Azure DevOps. I cannot say. And I said I cannot directly talk to customers saying that I don't know what is DevOps. But I
Okay.
have to keep learning. I have to understand how exactly it functions, and I have to deliver that. Okay, so that is the main
Okay.
challenge that you have to pick up. Okay, so don't ever think like only one technology or one certain what do you say certain one certain hat or something. We can say that will fetch you a good results. But definitely manual testing, I would say that manual testing will not help you to grow, but you can
Okay.
still, if you are good with the business requirements, understanding the customers and talking to the customers, you have a communication skills and all, you can move to a business analyst. And if you have a good technical understanding and logical thinking about the application technologies, then you can move towards this automation testing. So
Okay.
to be precise on this answer, to be precise or to be precise on this, so what I say is like don't depend on only one technology or one strategy of it. Okay, so you can just you have to elaborate and you have to keep on learning the things.
Yes.
So initially I started my career with manual testing. I worked only for 2 years. There was a good challenge for me to understand the application. And post that, I just switched the company, and they they demanded me to learn this automation. Then I started with SciPro, and then I moved on working on this UFT. Then again, there we used to call it as like UTP, then UFT, then Selenium, then Java. So again, it's like again keep on evaluating. Like currently I'm working for REST Assured API testing. I work like JMeter, performance testing, performance. So this is kind of like when you get the opportunity, you have to grab it and you have to learn that.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that if you don't have experience, don't take it. Is it true, sir? I mean,
No, it's
freshers
not like that. Yeah, it's not like that. It's not depends on the experience. Say, I take interviews of 12 plus or 30 plus years of experience, guys, and I don't feel them. They are like good at this technology. I just reject at first shot. So if I have like I interview like 3 plus or 4 plus of years of experience, the guys those who have a good logical understanding and technically strong, then we hire them. We never say that people with the experience or they don't have experience, we are not going to hire it. Okay, so most of the companies they are coming out of these things now. They want to have the resources with the trained skills. That is like they are benefiting out of it, right? So they don't want to spend money on the trainings. So if you are
Yes.
trained and if you have no experience, still companies are hiring.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions, guys?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, guys. So here I am going to conclude it. Thanks for your time. Let's meet tomorrow at same time, 8:30. Okay. We'll be starting with the content that we have spoken of.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.